There we go. Okay. So I love how you made this decision. Like, okay, so I'm easing into my Monday, and you had a very specific amount of emails you wanted to do, and then voila, it like grew. So, is that anything come to mind for you about um, how that decision supported you?
Yeah, I think, normally I would be like, I'm gonna get through all 150 emails this hour. Um, and then I would dive in with the like express intention of like churning through them quickly. Um, and I feel like when I'm in that mode of working quickly, it adds unnecessary stress. And given that I was just off to like eliminate stress, I was like, okay, well, let's not start the week
Mm-hmm.
doing something stressful. Um, so I intentionally started the week on a slower pace, and I set my intention. Like, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna set my goal too high. And I thought 50 and said 30. So I was
Mm-hmm.
giving myself even more grace. So then getting through about 100 felt really accomplished, right? Like, well, I said 30 and I did 100. And normally, normally it would be like, well, I did 100, but I have,
Mm-hmm.
this many more. So it was really refreshing to um, just feel accomplished and take it slow.
Mm. I love that. And it reminds me of, the whole acknowledgments through Fearless Generations, right? And just really acknowledging what has been gotten done versus what, sometimes our expectations are just too grand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that helps us get closer to what is realistic without producing that high level of stress.
Mm-hmm.
So nice. You've made a lot of big decisions in the last 6 months since I've known you. You've made
Mm-hmm.
like huge decisions to support you moving forward. And your progress has been phenomenal.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. So, yeah, decisions, making a conscious decision, that's the intentional part, right? Then you can make different choices to move forward with that and in support of that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have anything coming up this week that you'll need to make a decision on or um
Um, well, so part of the conversation that I had last week with my boss was the fact that, so this is the third team that I've been on. Um, and I didn't have an issue on either of the first two teams managing my time and my energy and all of the things. And this team, I think it's just the nature of the people on my team. They sort of thrive on tight deadlines and that like
mm,
drama of, oh my goodness, like we're not going to make it. Um, and I just don't fit in the environment. I'm like, that's just not my personality. And um, I don't see the value there.
mm,
And I feel like I'm constantly questioning, like, why is this the deadline? Why couldn't the deadline be this?
mm-hmm,
Right? And
mm-hmm,
wanting to understand the dynamic and wanting to um, help shift that. And my thinking was, well, I'm going to set some boundaries for myself, and hopefully that will inspire other people to set boundaries. And like, we could really like get into a good place. And I don't think other people want to or are willing to do that. So I tend to be the odd man out. So, so part of the conversation with my boss about taking the time off um, to sort of de-stress was thinking about whether I wanted to find another team. So I need to have a conversation with her this week about what that might look like. So that's kind of a big decision for this week.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. When do you plan on doing that with her?
Hopefully as early in the week as possible. I think what I'm sitting with right now is it just a new team? Is it a new company? Is it that I just want to wait it out until like the stuff that I'm working on personally sort of takes off? So really trying to think about those things.
Yeah. And some of those things you can probably share with her and others maybe not, right? Yeah. Well, let me know if I can support you in any way offline. Those are big decisions. And
Thank you.
I know we're at 9, but I circle back to where we started at the beginning of this time together and with Beth at the end of her faith hour. And we were talking about that communication, right? And getting vulnerable. And, I'd love to see where that goes with you in this, whether it's this team or a new team with your boss. How can you maybe open the doors of communication to see what really does come out? I wonder where that, where that drama is coming from for them. So yeah. So let me know if I could support you in any way offline. And I'm going to stop this